5 new eruptive vents opened on Mount Etna in 5 days, each one lower down the mountain than the last. 1,300 meters of descent in under a week, all of it on the eastern flank. And that specific flank was already moving before any of this started. Sliding into the Ionian Sea. A few centimeters a year, the same slow creep the south side of Kīlauea does. Then, in May of 2017, sensors sitting on the seafloor caught it slipping more than 4 centimeters in 8 days. No eruption, no shaking anyone felt. And now, magma is opening holes inside that same block, which is the exact order of events Hawaii went through, and Hawaii's ended badly. May 4th, 2018. Magma forced its way into Kilauea's lower east rift zone, and the south flank answered with a magnitude 6.9. Strongest earthquake in Hawaii in over 40 years. And the thing that broke wasn't the volcano. It was the slope the volcano is sitting on. So, what INGV actually recorded at each of those 5 vents. Why a seafloor experiment overturned the textbook explanation for Etna's slide. Why Catania's airport has been dark for most of a week. And what a moving Sicilian hillside has to do with a drowned Neolithic village on the coast of Israel. The sequence starts on August 7th, 2026. A vent opens at roughly 3,200 meters, about 10,500 feet, on the flank of the Voragine area, and lava starts moving toward the Valle del Leone. Within hours, a second vent is active at about 2,750 meters, feeding the same valley. That second one turned out to be the workhorse. Italy's National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology puts its output at approximately 2.81 million cubic meters of lava, with flows extending roughly 4.5 kilometers, about 2.8 miles. INGV attaches an honest uncertainty to that number, on the order of 40%, which is normal for volume estimates made from satellite and field data in the middle of an eruption. Even at the low end, 1 vent out of 5 was doing most of the work. August 8th, another vent, lower again, about 2,360 meters near Monte Ritman. And this one didn't open quietly. Observers recorded 2 small pyroclastic flows during the opening, apparently from loose volcanic material getting mobilized as the ground gave way. Small, localized, nobody hurt. But pyroclastic flows are not something Etna produces casually. August 10th. Lower still, around 1,900 meters near Monte Simone. August 11th. A 5th vent at about 2,090 meters on the northern wall of the Valle del Bove, pushing lava east-southeast. And the whole time, the summit is doing something completely different. Voragine and Boca Nuova have been running persistent explosive activity. Ash, lava fountaining, a plume that at various points reached 12,000, 15,000, and 17,000 feet. 1 volcano, 2 behaviors, 5 holes. Quick question before we go deeper. Are you in Sicily, in Malta, in Calabria, or were you one of the people whose flight got canceled this week? Drop your location in the comments. Every time Etna does this, there are people sitting inside the story who can see it from their window, and the comment section on these videos ends up better reporting than most of the coverage. Now the part the vent-by-vent coverage tends to skip. Mount Etna's eastern side is not attached to the rest of the mountain the way you'd assume. A large sector of the volcano, and part of the basement it's built on, is a semi-detached block that is creeping east-southeast, downhill toward the Ionian Sea. It has boundaries you can map. The Pernicana fault system marks the northern edge of the mobile flank. The Timpi fault system, running roughly north-northwest to south-southeast, is the most seismically active structure on the east slope. Between and around them, researchers have divided the sliding sector into 5 distinct kinematic domains, each moving at its own rate. The northeast block along the Pernicana carrying the fastest deformation velocities. This isn't a hypothesis waiting for confirmation. It's measured continuously by GPS, by INSAR satellites, by creep meters bolted across the faults themselves. And the movement is not smooth. The blocks advance through a fairly constant medium-term slide, punctuated by sudden, short-term accelerations. And those accelerations tend to line up with magma intrusion. Which brings the geography into focus. The Valle del Bove, the enormous horseshoe-shaped depression that 4 of these 5 vents are now feeding lava into, is not a valley in the ordinary sense. It's a scar, It's the hole left behind the last time this flank came apart. For a long time, the assumed explanation was straightforward. Magma pushes, the flank moves. Pressurization from below shoves the eastern sector downhill. Eruption drives the slide. Then a team led by Morelia Urlaub put instruments where nobody had put them before, on the seafloor. Between April 2016 and July 2017, 5 acoustic transponders were deployed along the offshore continuation of the fault, separating the sliding flank from the stable slope, measuring the distance between each other to under a centimeter. The offshore part of the flank had never been directly monitored. It's also the part that matters most because it's the deep end of the block. For most of the deployment, quiet. Then, over 8 days in May 2017, the seafloor array recorded more than 4 centimeters of slip. On land, displacement peaked at around 4 centimeters at the coast. A silent lurch, no eruption, nothing dramatic at the summit. The result, published in Science Advances on October 10, 2018, broke the assumed model. Deformation increased as you moved away from the magmatic system, the opposite of what magma-driven sliding predicts. The conclusion: the bulk of Etna's continuous deformation is driven by gravity. The mountain is falling over under its own weight. Magma isn't the engine. But, and this is the part that makes right now interesting, magma is a destabilizer. It doesn't cause the slide, it can accelerate it, which is precisely what 5 new vents inside the moving block represent. While geologists argue about the flank, Sicily is paying a much more immediate bill. INGV's Etna Observatory raised the aviation color code from orange to red at 16:19 local time on August 9th. It has stayed there. Ash from voragine has been dispersing predominantly south and southeast, and on August 11th, it drifted roughly 220 kilometers, about 140 miles, across the Mediterranean to Malta, where 19 flights were canceled in a single day. Catania Airport, Italy's 5th busiest by passenger traffic, has been closing and reopening in rolling blocks all week. Between August 6th and August 12th alone, approximately 630 flights diverted and 36% of 1,974 scheduled flights canceled. Across Sicily, the number climbed towards 700. Arrivals were suspended through 2 a.m. on August 15th, at the absolute peak of the summer holiday season. Volcanic ash is not smoke. It's pulverized rock and volcanic glass, and glass melts inside a jet engine's combustor and re-solidifies on the turbine blades. Aircraft don't fly through it, which is why a mountain in Sicily can shut down travel for an island 220 kilometers away. And Etna has done far worse to the people living on it. In February of 1669, earthquake swarms above the town of Nicolosi damaged buildings for weeks. On the night of March 10th, the volcano opened. Fissures built the Monte Rossi scoria cone, and lava poured south across farmland, eventually covering 37 to 40 square kilometers, destroying 14 towns and villages, and leaving about 27,000 people homeless. In April, it reached the walls of Catania. A death toll near 17,000 gets quoted for that eruption. Most modern historians consider it unreliable, likely conflated with the catastrophic 1693 earthquake that followed. The lava took homes, farmland, and 14 towns. Whether it took thousands of lives is genuinely not settled. Quick pause here. If you've made it this far into a video about fault kinematics, seafloor geodesy, and 17th century Sicilian population records, that means something. Most channels won't touch this. It doesn't perform as well as 15 seconds of lava footage. This one runs on people who don't skip it, so genuinely, thank you for watching. And subscribing, if you haven't, is what keeps stories like this getting made. Okay, back to it. Because the closest thing geologists have to a working model for what Etna is doing right now happened in the United States. Kīlauea, Hawaii. Same architecture, different ocean. Kīlauea's south flank is also a mobile block. A slab of volcano sliding seaward on a décollement, a near horizontal surface roughly 7 to 9 kilometers down, where the volcano rests on old ocean floor. Its upper surface is cut by the Helena fault system, whose scarps include Hole Pali, a 400-meter, roughly 1,300-foot cliff that is essentially a landslide headwall frozen mid-motion. In late April and early May of 2018, magma drove into Kīlauea's lower east rift zone. Rift opening wedges the flank apart, and stress models show that wedging loads the décollement underneath, pushes it toward failure. On May 4, 2018, it failed. Magnitude 6.9 beneath the south flank. The flank moved meters seaward in seconds. That is the mechanism written out in full. Magma intrudes into a moving block, raises the stress on the fault the block is sliding on, and the block accelerates. At Etna, the same physics is on the table. Published modeling shows that dike intrusion raises Coulomb failure stress on both the Timpe and the Pernicana fault systems, the two structures that bound the sliding sector. And the vents that opened between August 7th and 11th are inside that sector, at 2,090 meters and 1,900 meters, feeding directly into the Valle del Bove. Kīlauea's 2018 flank earthquake did not cause a collapse. It caused a large earthquake, a local tsunami of modest size, and a lot of rethinking. That is worth holding on to because it is the realistic version of this story, not the cinematic one. Here's where the honesty has to be strict, because this topic attracts a lot of bad content. INGV is not forecasting a flank collapse. Nobody is. The aviation color code is red because of ash in the flight levels. That is what it measures, and that is all it measures. No agency has issued a landslide or tsunami warning for eastern Sicily. Volcanic tremor has been elevated with a gradual upward trend, its source localized near Voragine at roughly 3,000 meters elevation, and infrasonic activity surged sharply on August 13th. But that describes a vigorous, ongoing eruption, which is what everyone can already see. There is also a real historical event underneath all of this, and it deserves to be stated accurately rather than teased. The Valle del Bove was opened by a genuine flank failure, with a debris avalanche estimated at 16 to 21 cubic kilometers running out as far as 20 kilometers offshore, around 8,000 years ago. Research published in 2007 links that collapse to a Mediterranean-wide tsunami and to the abandonment of Atlit Yam, a Neolithic village off the coast of Israel, roughly 1,600 kilometers away, where a water well was found filled with marine sediment consistent with inundation at approximately 8,300 years before present. That happened. It is also not a forecast. That collapse involved a different edifice, a different configuration, and a volume of rock the present flank does not obviously have staged to fail. Centimeters per year creep and a 20 cubic kilometer avalanche are separated by an enormous amount of physics that nobody has demonstrated is currently in play. What scientists will actually be watching over the coming weeks, whether tremor amplitude climbs or settles, whether new vents keep stepping downslope or the system consolidates, whether GPS and creep meters on the Pernicana and Timpe faults register acceleration, and whether lava discharge rises or tapers off. Those are the signals. Vent count on its own is not one. 5 vents, 5 days, 1,300 meters of descent, all on one side of the mountain. Whether that turns out to be a normal expression of Etna's branching plumbing system, or an early sign of a flank being loaded from the inside, is a question that will be answered by instruments, over months, in bulletins that almost nobody reads. What's already certain is smaller and stranger. A mountain in Sicily is falling into the sea at about the rate a fingernail grows. It has been doing that continuously, gravity-driven, indifferent to whether it is erupting. Every so often it lurches 4 centimeters in 8 days, and no one on the surface notices. Roughly 8,000 years ago, it took a piece of itself off and put a wave on a beach in Israel. And in the middle of that, there are 100,000 people living on the moving block, a major international airport built on its lower slopes, and a flight schedule that assumes the sky over Catania will be clear tomorrow. The mountain isn't behaving unusually. It's behaving exactly like a 2.5-mile tall pile of rock that has been slumping seaward since before anyone was around to name it. The only thing that changed this week is that it opened 5 new holes on the side that's already going,